Welcome everyone to this first season's match Legion In-House League Grandmaster Division. I'm here with the wonderful SSP. Welcome SSP.
Yes, hello Bonny, hello everyone.
You just shouted so much. We're gonna have the matchup between Ashton and Son, Ashton and Seraphine against Koyoma and Steenie, the Tuff ELO train. I'm really excited to see this first matchup. Legion In-House League, always very exciting, a lot of high elo matchups, very competitive matchups. So we will see different tactics, probably a lot of overvalue and starve. I'm really looking forward.
German internet, you know, as usual.
Having problems?
Hmm?
Oh, that's
I
great.
mean,
I never experienced that from my internet, so
no, okay,
really,
okay.
really unknown.
Nice.
Alright, we had discussed it in the pre-show already. We have Ashton playing 90% of his games as YOLO, so we're really looking forward to see if he's doing it. No, he's not.
Great. Steenie picking cash out, so faithful to himself. Seraphine going great, so same. He didn't chaos as usual, and great for Kuma as well.
It's actually crazy because we have Koyoma playing a lot of YOLO, same as Ashton. Ashton by far the most with 90%. While Seraphine plays mainly cash out, and we have Steenie being the only one who's picking his most played mastermind option, the cash out. I'm really looking forward if he does find this unit who can go for those early game aggressive 6 workers before wave 3 or whatever he will show us why his cash out is insanely strong.
Well, what I can say is that look at Ashton's role. He rolled Disciple Boar and Sovereign if he wants to, with a pretty okay early game with a Gargoyle, Green Devil with the items that are decent, Pilgrim maybe if he needs support on wave 5 and 6.
I think Ashton's overall role is looking really good. You mentioned it, we have the Disciples, we do have the Boars, you do have actually Aquas as well, so Rogue Wave could step up his damage output by a lot. I think this is exactly what he's taken. The only thing I'm wondering about is the Pilgrim. So personally, I don't really see the Pilgrim as a necessary choice in this role. So he did have Yusora, for example. I think this is a lot better choice just to get this either this attack speed reduction later on or the Swift armor for wave 16, for example.
Yeah, my assumption is that he just needed like an intermediate unit between the Aqua and the Disciple. So that he's not like fucked up by his goals, maybe.
That's a very good argument, I think. Maybe we can comment on the other rules as well. We do have Koyoma starting with a Bone Crusher. I think Bone Crusher Cat is definitely one of the best openers you can have, right? You do have a easy 5-worker start, a very safe 5-worker start, and then scaling into the Cat, you can just portion-wise upgrade it with 30 gold only. I think it's a very strong opener.
Definitely super strong, and just Bone Crusher alone is a super good unit with the Fire Archers and the Bone Crusher. And the Cat is just a great support on wave 3 and on 4.
Yeah, that's true. Even on wave 4, like the Cat usually is very bad in terms of defense there. It has Arcane armor type. But as you have 5 stacks, maybe this is an important threshold to mention, a 5-stack Cat perfectly 2-shots the wave. And this is why the Cat is quite strong on that wave actually, because you have an insane damage output. You might not expect.
Yeah, exactly. And even if you already have, like the Fire Archers that deal very good damage, like if you have a few spare gold, you can just upgrade 1 stack of the Cat instead of putting 2 useless Bone Warriors.
Exactly.
That can help a lot. So
before
I was about to talk about Steenie's role.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so Steenie, he picked the Vulcan Cannon, but he started Zeus. I personally not really convinced about the synergy of those 2 units. I think the positioning is a bit messy, so I'm really looking forward how he's gonna play it.
I totally agree on you. He does have a Steenie role, you can say it. He does have 4 damage units, a tier 1 and a banana bunk as his only sort of tank. So he always does give a lot too much attention to those damage units. And
exactly.
This is going to be very interesting how it's going to end up. There's less defensive value. You do have a lot of aggressive value, a lot of DPS units. So let's
Yeah.
see what we can expect from this role.
Yeah, also, what I'm afraid of Stiny that all of his units are terrible to maul Hermit.
Yeah, true.
This is really, really scary, I think, for Stiny if he's not paying attention.
One thing I just wanted to say that I'm looking forward to see a big 5 cent from Stiny and Kuyoma. They both did not do the casual income on 3 cent, but they decided against it. They were going for the double fiend on wave 4. I think they're just gonna take the income from the fiends and then send bigger another time. But we can already see that they are starting to coordinate their sends, starting right away into the game.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Maybe we can expect a long save until 7 with the Mimics, for example. That could be really, really good against both Ashton and Seraphine.
I exactly thought about something like this. Obviously, there's the Asaria on Seraphine, so wave 5 might not be the most attractive target to go against.
Yeah.
But you do have this wave 6, for example. Both players are not looking insanely good on 6, even though atoms aren't bad there, but you need this certain synergy with atoms, especially some tanks that will help you out on the wave. So a long save till 6 could have potentially done a lot of damage already.
Yeah, yes, exactly, and prevent Ashton from snowballing because we see that he's 8 workers now. He's leading leading the push.
Yeah, I think it's atoms are like a very strong early game as well that will allow you to push quite some. You do have no real weak wave until 9 because you have pure damage and immaterial defensive type, so it always takes the same damage. And then it always matters whether you do have the right tanks or the right adds for a certain wave or not. But in the first, like, let's say 4 waves, there's mainly atoms you build, so you do not really have this one weak wave, and if you then only receive some income sends, some smaller sends, you're just able to push quite a lot.
Yes, exactly. And Seraphine, Seraphine, last guy we didn't talk about his role. Man, super expensive role.
It is.
Even with the Graal, it's really, really expensive. And he shifted gold on 5 to get the Azari on 6.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what you mentioned, right? It is so expensive that you do have to do those uncommon builds. Seraphine could have already had 2 more workers. We had just this one unit in between that just fits a bit better, like anything for 40, 50 maybe.
Yes.
But now he has to go for the Asaria, and that's definitely not bad, but he now already showed what he has, and you can now just go for the long save, and the Asaria is not that strong on 7, even though you could think it is. But the double brew, the triple brew, the mimic, whatever, can potentially be a big threat to the student on wave step.
Yes, exactly. Mimic, super good even to kill the masks.
Yeah.
On 7, the brutes, sure. Yes, Azaria is insanely tanky, but he deals really, really little damage.
Yeah.
So against the brutes, it should still lick. And we see the brutes and the mole from Ashton.
Yes, I think it was a great read from you to see the 7 cent coming after wave 4. But even better, to be honest, for Seraphine and Ashton. They did not do a mistake you could potentially do, which is like a income send on wave 5 again, and then you just did give away all your pressure against your opponent and they save on you. But they were reading the 7 cent to be this main focus of Stiny and Kuyoma, and they're just mirroring their send to not give Stiny Kuyoma the free push. They are still behind in workers, and you do on top have this argument that Ashton and Seraphine, they prepared for the wave, so maybe Stiny and Kuyoma, they're actually leaking, because at least Stiny is not looking great for the wave.
Yes, Stiny reroll, by the way. He did reroll the Flying Force, so he ditched the Aqua and Zeus, Bazooka, I mean, to get the Windhawk. I forgot the name, and the Tempest. So
this is not helping him out in terms of a full DPS roll, right? Because you still have this cannon, and you do not need this cannon in a Flying Force Halo roll. I think the Halo is pretty important to mention, because Halo's just synergizing so well with those double Leviathans. But you just had the option of getting an Aqua, which is just still a perfect add to your roll in terms of increasing the damage output.
Yes, I agree. I would have kept the Aqua and ditched the cannon here.
Same,
Yeah.
definitely.
Seraphine holding, pushing to 9 Walker. Sadly, I think he sold the mask to push in Walker. So that's fine. He's good on 8. He can be okay on 9 with the Graal to like split tank with the Azeria.
I really do like it. Like now you have Seraphine, Ashton. They are taking the lead. They have a massive lead actually in terms of worker already. You do see it here. Ashton and Seraphine both 11 workers, while Kyoma and Steen are still on 9 and 8 worker. And they're long save, right? It just didn't work out for them. They were going for the non-full send on 4. They were going for the full send and non-income units on wave 7. And there was no king damage gain. They just kept their self scaling, and Ashton and Seraphine are just running away.
Yeah, I think Yuma here could push a little bit more to 10, maybe even 11 if he's greedy. He has 2 cats, he's strong on 8. Even on 9 he's okay. Okay-ish because the waves are fast, so he's not gonna receive like, a 200 send. They could have done decently here, so maybe Kuma could have pushed a little bit more. But they decided to save actually and maybe go for big 10.
I have to disagree on the wave 9. I really think he's actually insanely weak here. But I think one thing he did different is he did build for wave 8 even more. So you could have just shifted some gold as well, and then, for example, go for this Fire Lord or go for the upgrade of the Wanderer.
Yeah,
that gives you a lot more stability on this upcoming wave.
Okay, Steenie went for the bank here, but again, the Maul is just super good to counter everything. Here he has, so bank is gonna die. A lot of stuff is still alive. Yeah, it's not looking that good for Steenie, and even less for Kuma with the 3 brutes that are not shredding the cats and lions.
Yes. You mentioned it before, Steenie is very vulnerable against Mole. He's actually able to hold here. I think Mole was not a full send, right? You do have Ashton. Probably not spending all his Mythium, even though it seems like, something didn't go out. There's a brute still waiting in...
Oh yeah, that's huge.
In his lane. And this would have obviously made Steenie leak quite some, and this would have given them a lot bigger king damage here. But Mole is just a perfect send against him. He does have a lot of sources that did little damage. So
yeah, this could have been so huge for Ashton and Seraphine. But he decides not to commit fully on the brutes and resend the second one instead of income.
Yes. And now we do have the action coming from Kyoma and Steen. They're trying it once again, right? This is the third real send in the game. Let's not count in the send in wave 1. And I think there's no better target than 10, right? You have Azeria. The obvious weak wave on wave 1, if you see an increases, it is obviously wave 10. So it's going to be interesting how this is going to play out, especially since Seraphine is changing his focus. So the Seraphine is gonna tank quite early.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I think it's to protect the steeds, so the King Claw takes the focus and the steeds can buff it on the Azeria. So
it might still be far enough away to attack the steeds afterwards, but there's still no chance Seraphine can hold. And since Ashton actually added a boar last wave, which I really cannot understand, like you have Steenie, not Steenie, I'm sorry, you have Seraphine who is really weak on 10. You can imagine you're gonna get those sends on 10. And Seraphine actually, as an Azeria, is not that bad on 9 if you just have some adds. The steeds work perfectly fine as such.
Yes, and the Graal too to protect.
Exactly, and Ashton full committed on this wave 9, so they were both really bad on this wave 10. And look at this, like they're taking insane amounts of king damage. We have to mention.
Comeback is real.
The same happened to Kyoma and Steenie as well, right? It just took some more king damage this wave as well, but dropping down to 33% already is a really high risk these days because the king is a lot weaker than it used to be.
Yes, and we didn't talk about the spells at all, but there was Venture, and now everyone is going Venture.
Everyone's going Venture. We will likely see the descent on 12, and this
the
is...
8 here. This is madness, man, because... this is madness because, Seraphine is not that strong. Yeah, sure. Ashton just cannot lick, I think.
Did anybody tell Seraphine that Venture is gonna go on wave 12 as well? Like he's not gonna receive the big gold after wave 12, like after wave 11, because he is already undervalued and he is not looking good at all on 12.
Yeah, and he didn't push to be able to build that egg. So that's really risky play from Seraphine.
I actually wouldn't even say it's risky. Like this is totally mental. Like I cannot see a reasoning for this. Like the only reason I can see is Ashton not pushing, overbuilding, and like shifting some gold and then full building for 12, for example, with a red eyes or whatever. And then Ashton's covering the bait send or whatever. But it does not look like this at all. Like I do not see a chance of Seraphine holding.
Yes, and we see Steenie going with the Mole Hermit. It's super good to counter all the small masks. And the damage of the area that's a split, due to the ability.
I mean, look at this. We have Seraphine 140 below, and then the egg comes on top. Exactly.
So that's like minus 400, you know.
It's insane. Ashton is undervalued, not having the best units. He only has 2 boars and a disciple. And right now, in this perspective, Steenie and Kuyuma are just looking straight up better.
Yeah, at the moment, because Seraphine and Ashton just stand income. Kuyuma is strong with this really good split tank with the samurai, and with the Vulcan cannon and Steenie, he can be super good here, so no threat. And there is Venture.
Look at this.
So even at 13-14.
The Asaria's not tanking at all, so we will have Seraphine leaking insane amounts. And so far, I do not see Ashton hold this wave. This will actually be the game, the GG for Steenie and Kuyuma, because Ashton and Seraphine, they actually just threw the game.
Oh man, Seraphine didn't sell the mask on 12. So the split was super bad here. He didn't sell the mask.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
This is the GG, the 1-0 Seraphine and Ashton taking the loss, and Steenie and Kuyuma going as the favorites in this matchup.
Man, the long save to 10 did work out really well.
Yeah, I think they just stumbled above their own legs. Like Ashton committing on wave 9, while clearly the wave 10 was a lot more critical for them. I think.
but Ashton leaked big on 7. He was already minus 130 on wave 9, so maybe he was scared of a send here.
Probably, and we have to add. I think all this wave 9 and then this big reason on wave 10, all the scenarios would have looked a lot different if this brood from Ashton is actually sent to Steenie, because then we have Steenie leaking, and he's leaking quite a bit against the brood here, so Kuyuma and Steenie, they will take a lot more king damage. Ashton and Seraphine will gain a lot more gold, and maybe then be a lot better in this game.
Yeah, definitely. This brute was also a huge factor, because Kuyuma and Steenie actually leaked to the small reason on 10.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have been also a lot bigger, because they would have gotten a lot less gold. Okay, back to the game. We have same picks in terms of mastermind options. Everybody picking grid but Steenie with a cash out.
And we do have Seraphine on a very strong late game role. Dark Hollow Speed, Halo. That's a very nice one.
Super good for late game, and the spells are gonna help in this. Creditor, good for scaling if you can get it. Titan, super good on the bunk that he has. And Vampire, he doesn't have great candidates for Vampire though.
Yeah, I think nobody does. I mean, maybe Kuyuma, he does have this Avenger, but his other units don't really support an Avenger. Like, this Avenger in Kuyuma's role feels more like be a unit that, it's placed as a tank, maybe a bit of damage, but that's it.
Yeah, because he needed a tier 6, you know.
Yeah. And look at this. Yeah. Now the first cheese plays, Kuyuma and Steenie are gonna come out again. You do have the snails on wave 1. This is obviously Seraphine's just gonna snack his snail. Ashton just as well, because he was smart enough to add the tier 1 split. But it could have worked out. I mean, Ashton is known for playing very greedy opponents.
Yes. But see, it was a good try from Steenie and Kuyuma, I guess.
I like it as well. Like, especially if you do it in the second game of the series, it might be more like, okay, they really want to commit on something. They really want to like now to win Ashton and Seraphine, they might like play very risky in some cases. So standing
Yeah.
in this game
Yeah.
at least makes a lot of sense. And
Yeah.
we
And
didn't. Sorry, please go ahead.
I was saying Seraphine stayed for walkers to get the bank on wave 3.
Yeah, and
Here, and
this.
he
I can't
didn't
ping.
send on Stiny as well.
Yeah, that's what I just wanted to ping. He still didn't send, and this is why Steenie had to build a double mask on wave 2. He would still leak the Dragon Turtle if such a send would have reached him, but I'm really looking forward what is gonna happen. But usually it's okay, right? You're gonna get the 60 cent on or 80 cent on wave 3, which is fine, but you do have flower masks. And there's those few weak waves you do have, for example 5, 6, where you're not only weak, but you're actually dead if there's no unit to support you, if there's no unit to actually save you, because you need this single target damage for killing the boss on 5 or just killing the units on 6 overall.
Yeah, on 5 he can have like shurikens on the infiltrator to help snipe the boss, but still not insane against a hermit because it's gonna get super fast. Still because of its swift armor.
I think you pointed out perfectly already. He does have those infiltrators. He does have the shurikens from them on wave 5. So maybe Seraphine, who tries to go wave 5, he doesn't know there's infiltrators in Steenie's role, who might run into this trap, and Steenie's just gonna be able to snowball after this. There might as well be the case that therefore Steenie's overcommitting on magic damage and then gonna get clapped on wave 7, 8 in reverse.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, we see the kind of plays I wish I would seen with game 1 from Seraphine and Ashton, which is Seraphine starving Steenie to enable Ashton as good as he can. He was able to get 6 walkers at wave 3. For wave 3, hold, and now he's 7 and taking quite a big lead in income. Look at this. Yes, 35 compared to 18 and 11 already. And 5 from Seraphine.
So I think this is a really good approach you mentioned. There is quite some teams that play a little bit about enabling I don't want to say obvious stronger player, but there's some teams that have like a huge gap between their player, maybe because of elo or just because of, I don't know, experience or whatever. So there's teams that try to enable a certain person. I think this might happen to Ashton and Seraphine. This might as well happen to Aviator and you. I don't know what's your plan. You don't have to reveal it, but you have those individually very strong ladder players that you want to enable to carry out the game in the end.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is not a real secret that Aviator is a better player than me anyway, so... But yeah, it's pretty much what we did in the recaps, that I tried to enable him to starve as well on the guy he sent to, so we could go for these long saves, but yeah.
So I'm really looking forward. We did not have Seraphine stand still, right? He's still on the casual 5 income you have from the start, playing Reed. And well, what he does is not greedy at all. He wants to win the game fast. I can see that, but he's definitely not playing for scale. And the best is, now Steenie will reveal his infiltrators, so he might, or depending on what their plan is, it might be that wave 7 that I mentioned before. It might be the straight wave 7 from Seraphine, and Ashton is gonna join him.
Yeah, true, but I don't know, because on wave 7 the mask will be tantrumed, so...
But what is he supposed to do against the Mimic? Give him the Mimic plus maybe a Hermit, I don't know. The wave is gonna take some time. I mean, you see it here, Kyoma leaking a large amount against an income send.
Yeah, because we didn't mention that Kyoma. Look at Kyuma's Mythium, he has more than Seraphine.
He does. And this is simply because Ashton is gonna income send him often.
Yes, so he was able to push.
Exactly.
But no?
The problem is Seraphine now has to send because he's under pressure himself as well, and he does have bunk, right? The obvious send against him is gonna be now. He will receive the send now. He's fully aware of this fact, and therefore he will have to send. He does have the Halo in his role, which is great. It's a great counter to wave 6. But obviously the Halo will take away some, or actually a lot of gold that could potentially tank on the wave, because you don't want your Halo to tank on wave 6.
Yes, exactly. Okay, he's selling the Graal. Not sure what he's gonna do with it. The goal is
A
pretty
disciple.
ugly, honestly.
Why is he doing disciple? And why is he not doing the steed close to the disciple?
Yeah, I don't know. His god was pretty ugly, so I'm not sure. I would have put the at least maybe the disciple here, so it can maybe try to make it tank a bit, like with the fire archers,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
or something.
Well, I personally would have done the
Maybe,
halo and the steed.
Yeah.
In my eyes, the best option. But let's
Yeah,
see.
true. Yeah. Nah, I think he was gonna leak anyway, but not sure how better he would have
Oh,
done.
and look, over there on Stini, we didn't mention Seraphim actually managing to send out the Mimic, and Stini, he tried to protect himself perfectly with the Orchid, which is definitely the best unit he can build. But
Kuma is not covering with the 60
yes,
recent here.
Kyuma's not covering at all. He overpushed. He was just adding a Wild Human and a few Polywogs in the split to make his range split work out. So he's leaking. We have Stini not killing the Mimic, and this is crucial.
Man, this just means Ashton is on fire now, because look at these 12 walkers to nothing.
This is crazy. Like Ashton should actually be on shutdown now.
Yes. And he has he did use his reroll, it seems.
Yeah, here it is. 25 shutdown.
Yeah, alright. Look at 13 walkers by wave 7.
Crazy.
This is not something else. And
I mean,
he's
that 13 walkers is a bit too much, right?
Value.
I mean, he does have a lot of natural armor. He does only have one damage unit. So it's. I think the last worker was a bit too greedy, especially since he kind of can guess that he's gonna be on shutdown, right?
Yeah, but somehow, he shot on good units so far. So
yeah, but he does have 2 concepts as well, undervalue. I mean, he's 130 under.
Yeah, and he shifted gold as well.
Yeah. I mean,
what a madman.
He's probably shifting the gold to get the elite archer out next, but then there will be those insane problems on 9. Appearing at least for Ashton himself.
Yeah, I think so. But can Stini hold a mole here on wave 8? He has an orchid. He can boost an orchid, so it should still be okay.
And then he still does have the mask behind it. As soon as the mole dies, the mask is actually dealing quite some damage.
Yeah. Okay, Ashton sending income. He could have chosen the pack, but no.
He could have sent so much. He could have, as you mentioned, the pack leader. But the chat was memeing about it before already. Ashton not gonna send any power mercs this game, and this is exactly what happens. He was only sending income. He was taking the scale, and look at how greedy he's playing. He already wants to play for wave 9 because he's not respecting it. He does 50 gold shutdown. He's just gonna donate a nice and easy 50 gold or 100 gold to the opponent team if they were smart enough to send here. But no, the reads are perfect.
Man, seriously, man, this is a real Ashton we like to see, to be honest. At the same time, we have Seraphim with the Graal, so I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for
Haven.
Can he get it? I'm not sure if he can get it.
Seraphim 160. No, Seraphim doesn't seem like getting a Haven.
Yeah, but King Claw is still very good, so...
King Claw is still very... Well, he cannot
but
get a
look
King
at
Claw,
this.
right?
Just look at this, man. This is game.
Oh,
this is game.
Is very close. It's Immolation. The Immolation is perfectly countering the Hermit.
Yeah.
Hermit perfectly countering Immolation.
It's not even a mole, it's a Hermit on the DT. What happened? I think the mask got sniped, maybe?
No, the mask did not get sniped, but you just have Stini, who was not adding. I mean, you see it. Stini was adding 1 Varg.
Yeah.
He was, I think, 1 mark, and I think there's 1 or 2 masks. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
But
he was building for 9. But on 9 he could just have gotten the...
I think Stini shifted gold.
Stini just sold the Warg to get a flower here.
And now we do have an interesting thing to mention. We have Stini on an AoE roll, which is perfect if you're playing from ahead, if you're playing a little bit over value, and if you're not getting starved too long. But all this happened. Stini got starved a long time, he's now behind, he's now undervalue. So he will not be able to hold any more waves, especially now with the roll.
Yeah, and you know what? This gave Seraphim the Haven, and now Ashton is overvalued.
Yeah.
This leak was so big, man.
This all-in send, Ashton, Seraphim, they are gonna be able to defend themselves. They might not hold both of them. I think Seraphim's actually gonna leak the Ogre But
Yes.
this won't matter. Ashton's holding, Seraphim maybe leaking small, but whatsoever. They have their opponents down on 22% king. They are leading far in
Yeah.
workers. And this
Uh,
time, it's really tough to throw the game.
yes, and Ashton is just reaching a new shutdown threshold every wave. He's now shutdown 75 at wave 9.
So will we have the 100 next wave? What do you think?
I think so, man.
Yeah,
I think so. He's
it has to be,
holding.
right? 17
He's just
workers.
like he has almost as many walkers as both Stini and Kuma together.
This is crazy. I mean, Ashton, he is managing to lead Koyoma every wave with just income units, right?
And yeah, you got it. 100 shutdown. And he keeps pushing.
Yeah, he does.
But we must say the save from Seraphim was really big.
Yeah.
Also.
The thing about long saving is always it can work out as we just saw, which is your opponent has a clear weak wave, you can counter him. But it can as well just happen that you try, but then there's a surprise unit that could have happened on 5, for example, run into the infiltrator. And then boom, you're holding, or your opponent is holding, and then you just starved yourself, you didn't get out anything from it, and your opponent is still in the game and can now even lead.
Yes. I'm not sure what's the plan now.
I don't know
Stini
as
and
well.
Kuma.
I mean, Stini just added a bunk. So I don't know if he was not able to get the Doomsday, but he was fully aware of the fact that he's not gonna be able to hold here. And actually, I do not see Koyoma hold against Ashton Sen. So we have Ashton and Seraphim. They could have already finished the game on this wave.
Yeah, true. But Ashton just decides to not give a F and income send on 11 instead of going full to close the game. To make sure they close the game.
That is true. Ashton just going for the income send. Seraphim at least trying hard with the 4-eye. And to be honest, I do not see Stini hold in any case. What is he supposed to do? Like, how is Stini supposed to defend himself? There's a 4-eye coming. There's... How much more can there be? I don't know. There's like 60 more? No.
Yeah.
40 more?
But the values are just not here anyway.
By the way, just to mention it, Ashton now 125 shutdown. He's managing it. Plus 25 every wave. This time, he's not looking too great, right? I mean, she's only getting income sense, but he does not have the units that shine bright on this wave.
Yeah, but the Firelord is gonna get sniped here. I think. So that's a lot of damage gone already in a matter of seconds.
And Firelord is dead. Boom.
Yeah.
That's it. I do not see Koyoma and Stini hold here. Look at over the Stini.
Yeah, even this, just another 145 value wasted.
I mean, the fact that Stini did not receive a big tank did let his flower reach the wave and deal a lot of damage, but there's still 18 creeps leaked, and this is the tie, the 1-1 in this best of 3.
We were talking about long games going to 18 or 19, but at the moment, 12 and 11, it's pretty short.
Like, we can already see the games are going to be more competitive, right? There's this more long save meta you often see in tournaments and in cups. Like it often happens that games tend to end either very late, which is the common meta at the moment, or very early, because there's those early game sense happening.
Okay, Grid again, and cash out again.
Options don't change this time. A new set of Legion spells. We did have 9 different Legion spells in this matchup. Now, Lone, Giant Snares, and Pawn Shop. So a lot of defensive, slow spells. So there's not going to be too much action happening on 11, 12.
Shouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a lot of action happening on 11, I would be surprised with a Lone being an option. But who knows?
Yeah, and look at Seraphim again with what the fuck is this roll, man?
Yeah,
you have 3 tier 6. It's so expensive. I didn't have time to check what the other units were, but
we said he
3
cannot
tier
see.
6. Yeah.
But he still does have a chance with the Bone Crush into Green Devil play, and obviously The pierce damage is a little bit lacking, but as he's getting into the gates that are a lot stronger now, nice synergy with these, he's gonna be there.
Yeah, but I think when you have the gates with Steeds, you don't need the Doomsday.
I mean, it's so funny to see, right? We have Seraphine having such an expensive role. And then there's Ashton having 4 units cost 55 or less.
Yes, exactly.
Like, you clearly see Ashton wants this early game aggression.
Yes.
Ashton doesn't want this early game lead. And on the other hand side, we have Steenie starting with 2 workers. Like, this is some exploit of the cash out. I don't think it's worth it, because he's now gonna stay 3 worker on the next wave, and this is like Ashton and Seraphine's gonna be on 5 worker. They have the lead already. It's way too slow.
And if Seraphine sees it, he's just instantly push 6 walkers because he cannot receive 20 on 2 and more, not more than 40 on 3.
Exactly. He should definitely go 6 workers now, because he is able to just build a bone. Oh, he does! Perfect! I don't know if it was his call or if Ashton told him, because now just add the bone boy in the split. He's gonna hold the nose send. Nice and clean.
Yes, and even with the gargoyles or fire archers, he can be okay on wave 3.
He can be, and even the fire archer's gonna help him out later on. He just has to be aware of the fact that as he builds a fire archer here, his gates that are placed more to the middle might be in danger later on of getting sniped from the split. Yes,
indeed. But Seraphine playing greedy, I like it. I like it. It's not usual from him.
Yeah, I do really like it. I just remember those games where Seraphine sometimes out of a sudden pops off, pushes insanely aggressive, and he's getting away with it, and then he's just actually winning games because of it. But the same frequency, I see Seraphine just trolling games. Like, I mean, let's be honest, right? This wave 12 loss from them was mainly his fault, I think. This egg was just way too greedy into a venture, into an undervalue. So
yes, into an egg, knowing he was bad on 12. Yeah. And he gets a 60 out before income. That's really nice against Kyoma.
I mean, he's gonna be able to add another snail. So Kyoma receiving this 80 cent. Oh, but there's a nice answer. There's a nice answer. Harris is strong.
He got the snail on one that enables him to get the 295 value.
Yeah, I actually do like it. It's an interesting play. It might still be punished because the Hellraiser has to be a little bit lucky, hit the right units multiple times to really shut it down, and then there's this Fiend being a threat. But Seraphine did not full send. Oh, Seraphine!
Oh man.
I'm sure with a full send, the chance of leaking is a lot higher than it is at the moment.
Yeah, but would it have leaked? I don't know.
I mean, I can't say 100%, but the chance is definitely higher than it is now.
Okay, it's actually, so he would have leaked. Maybe not higher, but yeah, still a leak.
Yeah, but it's still worth it overall, right? Seraphine does still have something backed up, maybe for 5, maybe for 6, I can't say yet. And they're still leading in worker, right? Steenie now being on the same level of worker than Seraphine and Ashton.
Yeah.
But it took a lot more time.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, we can compare their income values. You have the double income value on Ashton already, then on Steenie. Because Steenie's starting with 0 income. And then on top of this, you have Ashton just having those 7 workers a lot longer, those worker leads a lot longer, so overall Mythium gain from Ashton is a lot higher. Yes,
if you change the view and check the total Mythium generated, Seraphine generated 30 more Mythium than Steenie so far.
That's crazy. I mean, 30 more Mythium. This might sound very, very small, but actually 30 Mythium, this is almost, or like, this is 60% of a work already, and as you get this worker sooner in the early game, you're just snowballing in an insane more increased tempo. Yes, this is really big. For example, if he didn't grid that 6 walker, he wouldn't have been able to get the Fiend out before income. Perfectly. And then he would have not leaked Kyoma, he would have only got the Dragon Turtle or Lizard in income time, and then Kyoma's holding, he's gonna snowball himself. A bit better.
You must played it rather safe and stayed at 6 walkers to get the Orchid here.
Yeah, he did. I think he was aware of the fact that his mask is not boosted on wave 5. And therefore the Orchid needs to be his savior on wave 5.
Yeah, yes. But I really hope now he's gonna be able to push to 9 or 10 walkers.
Yes,
because he definitely can do it.
We should be. Still, be careful. Wave 7, you have the Orchid, so not a lot of damage. And the mask is not buffed, so a larger unit, a Mimic, maybe this happens with a lot of leaks happening. Probably not.
Nope.
But larger unit or a mole or something else might still be punished.
Yeah, true. But nope, that's an income recent here.
Yes,
from
it
Seraphine.
is. Ashton and Seraphine still sticking to the rule, no power mercs in the early game, while Koyoma and Cini, they're trying. The double brood is sent. Will this have an impact?
I don't know, because at the moment, Stini and Kuma are having the worker lead, and they are sending power mercenaries with the good old brutes, so they can take a big, have a pretty big lead. Sorry, if they can make something happen.
I can see Seraphine lead quite hard because he does have a very poor build for wave 6.
Yeah.
Only a few melee units that will tank the Rockos and a lot of range units, and we can see the wave is just running through his line of defense. But Ashton Butcher, look at this split tanking, the Daphne split tanking, the other Daphne split tanking. Like, he's
super good.
oh
God
my god, look at this. He is a God Spieler confirmed.
Spam clicks going on, yes. Well, we can see the difference. Seraphine had everything on the Crusher and everything on the Gargoyle, then the Fire Archers. Leaks 80%.
Yeah.
Ashton perfect split holds.
Yes. I mean, it is very important to mention, the more units you are able to let tank in the early game, and in the perfect case, let them tank close before they die, like Ashton just did with this Daphne, the more undervalue you can hold, the more you can push, etc. And this is always the problem, or the reasoning why you want your early game ranged units, a Daphne, a Zeus, an Aqua Spirit, a Halo, whatever you build in the early game, you always want to let them tank a bit.
Yes, and now what we see, Ashton could even the walkers, but Seraphine is starting to fall behind here now. And he doesn't have great setup for 9 and 10. I mean, I think he's falling in his own trap of having an expensive role.
He does. He does fall into this trap. This time he's not starving himself though, which is great for him. But overall, he was already building so many different units, right? He does have the 2 Fire Archers and the Dark Mage. They will all soak mana from the Steeds later on that you could perfectly use on your gates. You do have the range split that will happen exactly as following. The wave will reach this Fire Archer, then turn over and kill the Dark Mage, the Fire Archer, the gates that will be placed here later.
Exactly.
So he will have major problems the later the game goes.
Yeah, exactly. And they decide to go and come here. Well, I guess it's a mistake, of course, because we see that Kuma and Stini don't send, but I think it could be red that they don't go on 8. You see Green Devils here with 2 Daphnes. So it was really unlikely that they would go 10 here.
I mean,
the 8.
I also have to mention, I see flashbacks. Ashton, Seraphine, they're income sending, right? They don't do king ups. They could really need some heal ups. And Koyoma and Stini, they're still saving. And now just find this one weak spot once again. The king is not very strong. They have lost 1/3 of their king already. Find this one weak spot, I don't know, maybe 11, maybe 10. Maybe 10. Ashton's quite strong on 10, but maybe 11. And you're actually gonna get this victory over Seraphine and Ashton.
Yeah, with this send on 8, I would just maybe go straight 11.
They could try. Oh, they're going now. The triple brood. I really do like the send. I really do see the 9 send as an option. Ashton not looking too great. Actually not, he's receiving an ogre. I mean, he does not have anything to defend an ogre. He does have this Bone Crusher assets, or Bone Crusher and the Green Devil as his only tanks. There's gonna be the Antler hopefully, but that's it. And we have Seraphine, who was not showing any damage for 9 before now.
Yeah.
Showing us the Doomsday.
Yeah,
Millennium.
I would have sent an ogre in instead of 4 brutes. Not sure what you are thinking about it, but I would have sent the ogre and then DT or lizard instead.
I didn't see if Steenie did get out the ogre in time. He probably did.
Yes, he could. Yes, he could get it in time. He was close to 220.
Yeah, I think I would have done an ogre as well. It just feels a lot more useful, especially since the brutes are going to split up, right? Half of them should go into split, the other half going the other way. But look at this. Seraphim is just getting overrun. Half of the wave is still alive. There's all brutes still alive. You built the gate, not the Doomsday machine at the Millennium.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's the better call, but Ashton at least, he is a day saver, leaking small, only the ogre, and he keeps them alive.
Yes, but that's 3 brutes and an ogre.
Yeah, that's hurting. I mean, they will now be forced to go either for an all-in and kill him fast, never leak again, or do those heals.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But Kuma leaked a bit here to the Fiend reason, but I think it just doesn't matter anyway.
Yes.
Because they get such a big lead now.
Yes. What is important now? The game is likely to slow down a little bit. We don't have Sense on 10. We have 11 and 12 with like mainly defensive spells. Maybe Giant Snares obviously are quite aggressive as well. But in most cases, I don't see the players pick Giant Snares, to be honest. I mean, I might see Koyoma and Steenie play them. I might see them want to go for them. They don't look too bad against.
Yeah, I think JSS are they're okay. Just even to not counter, but waste the damage from the Haven and the other monk.
Yeah. I still didn't see. I think Seraphim is still keeping his initial roll, so he should definitely try to reroll, get a synergy. He still doesn't have any aura units that he really does need.
Yeah, just an APS or any aura could be great for him.
Exactly. Now there's a question. What are they gonna do? They didn't do heals. So they're very confident to not leak too hard anytime soon with those 24% King Seraphim already going for the leak right here, building just these. I mean, he's preparing to scale.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's the plan, but what I really like to see here is that there is Pawn Shop. And Pawn Shop, you can do just insane stuff with it. If you sell the right unit at the right time to get something to hold the scent.
Yes, I really think Pawn Shop should be the favorite mastermind option here. I do not see why Steenie is going for the loan, because you can basically get the same with the Pawn Shop while not spending, how much is it at the moment, 34?
Yeah, that's... I don't really understand it either. Yeah, that's a bit questionable here. Maybe he was afraid because he has only...
Yeah.
He had only this, so he could get the chieftain, but...
They're still on good value, and now Koyoma, look at his roll. There's Boars, there's Steed, there's Disciple. Actually, I think he re-rolled for this now because I didn't see those units in his initial roll. Maybe it was not just not careful enough, but now Koyoma, he is having by far the best roll in the game.
They can just FF already, I think, Ashton and Seraphim. Look at this!
They're saving, right? They are saving, they're looking for this weak spot, but when do you see a weak spot here? Like, you do have the weakest spot for Koyoma might be 13 actually. Might be. But then you have Steenie covering with a nice Sovereign, he's overbuilt. Then there's 15 probably. Koyoma's gonna be insane, while Steenie is not the best. There's 16, both might be not too good, because Steenie is lacking damage on 16, while Koyoma overall has his weakest wave there. But after this, there's no more spot to break them if Koyoma's just staying on value. Defending himself.
Yeah, they just can't. But looks like they're going for a long save now. Seraphim and Ashton trying their luck 12.
Yeah.
Kuma doesn't have a red eyes, but at the same time he didn't send like an ogre to try to snap the boars fast.
Already is building for 13. Right.
Yes.
So 12, maybe this can work out. I mean, Steenie's on 2.2k value, right?
He's overvalued.
He doesn't have.
And the mask are tantrums.
But look at this. This is actually not too bad. He does have the mask being protected, the Sovereign already gaining some mana, and Steenie's just gonna hold here. Even though they were power merc sent, you have Koyoma hold leaking because he was building for wave 13, but not leaking too hard, and now they can just scale.
Yeah.
They are ahead in income. They are probably ahead in workers soon if they play it correctly.
Yeah. What I would do now is just full push into 14 maybe or 15. Like their values are decent, especially Steenie. Steenie is just not clickable on 14,
Their income
so you
is
can
quite
cover
low,
Kuma.
right?
Mm.
The thing is the
Yeah.
following. You do now have this option to either let Koyoma scale. The only problem is, if he's scaling, he would send into Ashton. And we all know if somebody is able to run away with a role that's not looking too great, it's going to be Ashton, it's going to be Aviator.
Yes.
So, this is probably not the preferred choice, even though Koyoma has the probably best role in the game. So I can see the approach of saving long, but 14 is not really an option against double Doomsday, so it has to be 15, has to be 16, something like this.
Yeah, right. You're right. But look at Steenie. He's 300 overvalued.
Damn,
Oh,
I
with the
love
egg.
this egg.
With the egg.
This is a perfect play.
Ah,
Steenie going for the overvalue, baiting or trying to bait the sentence on 14 so they can save maybe till 16. I hope this is their idea because this is super clever. 16 is by far looking the best for them. Seraphine and Ashton both look terrible on 16, while they somehow do have a unit here, a unit there to be okay on 14, 15. And this egg is just going to give them extra value. They might be allowed to go 16 now, even though this is Koyoma's with Grave.
Yeah. But I'm a bit afraid now for Seraphine and Ashton. They both Steenie and Kuma seem to have the better role. They have the upper hand, they have the pressure. The only thing they don't have is more workers than Ashton.
Yes, that's true. But Ashton is not having great value, right? We can see he's 190 under, but he will be a lot more under later on. And with 26% on King, because they still did never do heals. They were dropping quite low before, they never did heals. We already see Ashton getting the first Batcher, so it feels like they're committing on this wave 15 a bit. This is gonna break the neck.
Yes, and they decide to income send here.
Yeah.
But yet again, they send while Kuma and Steenie are saving.
Yeah, I mean, 16 is just a perfect wave to go for them. At least Seraphine rerolled quite some good units, and I hope that Ashton therefore is building against 16 because Seraphine does now have a stronger wave 15. So I really do hope. Oh no, Ashton's going for the Batcher. There's no chance Ashton's gonna hold next wave. He's not gonna be on value. He's already 550 under. Seraphine has no chance of holding. This is just gonna be GG on 16, I think.
Yeah, probably. Like, look at Kuma's value. He's just such a low value, man.
Yes, exactly. And now there's the heals coming down. But what is it gonna give them? Like 1%? They could have had like 20% already.
It's too late. It's too late. Even. Yeah, Kuma is so much under, but he has good units for it. He's just barely gonna leak the boss only.
I think he's actually hold. No, he's leaking.
He's leaking the boss only, but yeah.
There's no shutdown.
Is holding. No shutdown. Ashton is on shutdown for some reason.
Yeah, because he's still leading in workers. He's still leading in income. Therefore, he's on shutdown.
Seraphine is too heavy. It seems his game.
But there's still not any option Ashton can do, right? He is ahead in worker because he pushed those 18 workers after 10 or 11. I can't remember anymore.
After 11. Yeah, after 11.
And now he is bound to them. He's not able to scale too hard in terms of value because he obviously never received gold in between from mercenaries. He's gonna be undervalued here. He's gonna have very bad units. We have Seraphine not looking too great, even if he's going for a gate, for example. After 5 summons, that's it, and a gate is not strong as before anymore. The units are a lot weaker.
And he doesn't have the tank line anyway to give time to the gate to spawn everything.
I mean, I don't see an option. I do not see. And now Seraphine and Ashton, they're both doing one heal each. How is this supposed to save them? I mean, they got saved for 10 waves now. No,
I think this is GG.
I think this is GG.
Well. Ashton's damage is basically this Doomsday,
Yeah.
but it's bad on 16.
I mean,
Seraphine.
he's already getting helped out by witches being sent and not a ghost knight.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that sound is questionable again.
Look
but
at this, the wave is running over Seraphine. It's just the takeover of France, it seems. There is Ashton leaking an insane amount, and this 31 creeps being leaked. Damn, I mean,
it's quite a good set, I must say.
And do you remember on wave 6, I think it was, I mentioned it, or no, it was a bit later, like 8 or 9, that I see similarities to game 1. You do have Ashton, Seraphine going for those income sends here, then income resend, while Koyoma and Steeny, they were doing the calculated sends. They were sending together, they were looking out for waves. They could send on, even though in both games, Ashton and Seraphine both had the way better early game. They just over sent an income. They did feed their opponents. They were able to freely scale while leaking small, sometimes here, sometimes there, giving them more time. And then there was just this big send happening.
Yeah. And I must say it was really well played from Kuma and Steeny, like taking their time to analyze the roles, identifying the common weak wave, because sometimes they just don't have common weak waves. But here it was the case with the 9 and the 16. So props to them for identifying it.